Good morning, everybody. I am your grateful neighborhood addict named Connor, and this is today's daily reflection. April 17th, love and fear as opposites. All these failings generate fear, a soul sickness in its own right. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 49. Fear knocked at the door. Faith answered. No one was there. I don't know to whom this quote should be attributed, but it certainly indicates very clearly that fear is an illusion. I create the illusion myself. I experienced fear early in my life, and I mistakenly thought that the mere presence of it made me a coward. I didn't know that one of the definitions of courage is the willingness to do the right thing in spite of fear. Courage, then, is not necessarily the absence of fear. During the times I didn't have love in my life, I most assuredly had fear. To fear God is to be afraid of joy. In looking back, I realized that during the times I feared God most, there was no joy in my life. As I learned not to fear God, I also learned to experience joy. Wow, what a great reading today. Um, First of all, I want to say this is very smart um, to paint love and fear as opposites because really faith and fear are opposite of each other. But it says that right in the reading, right after painting love and fear as opposites. And my conception of God is that God is love, right? So that, seems to fit well with the faith metaphor. My conceptualization of God is not and has never been a punishing God, right? It's always been God is love, a forgiving God who just wants to love you and take care of you, and give you blessings and good things in your life and protect you. It's very important to know also that in this reading, it says it talks about courage and bravery. Is not the absence of fear. It's proceeding regardless of the presence of fear. And that's really important to know because just because you experience fear, it doesn't mean that, you're a coward or a wimp or whatever. What matters is what you do in spite of fear. So, you know, um, hmm, yeah, I'm personally not a very fearful person. I just started listing my fears last night, actually, in my step four packet that my sponsor gave me. And I have a couple, but also what I learned in IOP is that there are, really two different types of fear that everything stems from, right? Like if you imagine meta fears. And the first one is the fear of death. And the second one is the fear of humiliation, right? Which is basically a form of social death. So annihilation and humiliation. Me personally, I'm weird. I'm not afraid of death. So that probably knocks out a lot of other things, that maybe I could and or would be afraid of, but I'm really just not. I'm not a very fearful person. I am afraid of humiliation. I'm a little camera shy. My teeth are messed up and whatever. But I just did a speech on Wednesday in front of like 40 plus professionals for the court program that I just completed. And at first, I was a little nervous, to speak in front of all these people. But then, I was like, you know what? It's just a thing. I'm just going to do the thing, and I just pushed through. And I don't think anybody even had any idea that I was nervous. So I am getting better at that. Exposure therapy helps with pretty much all types of fear. The more you do something or push yourself to do something, and then you find the outcome is not as bad as you thought, it kind of lessens the fear each time. Um, and Geez, what else do I have for you today? I think that was mainly it. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that fear and anger have a symbiotic relationship too. So anger quells fear, for example, right? Like anger and fear are opposite each other on the emotion wheel. That doesn't mean they're true opposites because faith isn't on the emotion wheel. But it's important to know. So, like, for example, if you are or an angry person, Most of that probably stems from fear. It's probably a coping mechanism for excess fear. And that's what I got for you guys. Thank you for listening today. Thank you so much for listening today, and I'm so grateful to be a part of your journey. I am your grateful neighborhood addict named Connor, and I wish you another day gratefully sober. Until tomorrow.